Tsurune, archery anime. I ain't gonna lie, the only reason I was watching this is because it's by the people who did Free. Right at the start of the end, there's a shirt lift on some chiseled abs, just reminding you that yes, it is gonna be this type of anime. I think they might have been showing it because of the scar on his abs, but whatever, still fan service, even if it's plot relevant. I don't think archery is generally one of those sports associated with abs, but abs. And there's a big fluffy doggo in this, and I'm like, oh, this is already an improvement on Free. Protag-chan doesn't want to join his archery club because he got to play housewife now that his mum's dead, and his dad can't pick up the slack because... We meet our protags briefly, and I gotta say, there's already a standout best boy, Tommy-chan, the tiny, adorable old man who runs the archery club. And apparently this story is set in a completely different universe from Free because, wait for it, there are actual females in this club too, and not just as the coach, but like as actual participating members. As Tommy-chan states, archery is a gender-neutral sport without different categories based on gender. Just shilling some good old feminist talk to keep him in a strong contendership for best boy. I don't know. There is that Magano who keeps whispering "good" in English. Ugh, he's got strong competition. The club have a little demonstration for any would-be members, and Tommy-chan decides, geez, maybe it's a good idea to force that one kid who's been kinda iffy about joining up to shoot without any prior notice. And oh my god, he shoots abysmally. It's a disaster. Tommy-chan, you're a teacher. You should know by now not to force the shy kid to do shit like this, especially when it involves a dangerous weapon. Don't push the shy kid when they have a weapon in their hand. And this angry cunt comes up to Protag-chan, grabbing him and shouting in his face, "How dare you not take archery seriously?" And Protag responds, "But I do take archery seriously." For such dramatic lines, archery just doesn't fit. Then the episode ends with Protag-chan wandering around at night and stumbling upon Ab's ghost man on the shooting range with his huge pecs. That thing is the size of like a morbidly obese man who just lost a shit ton of weight and got jacked and joined the WWE. They're not like man titties for this little bishy. And he has blue hair and an owl, just in case he didn't already look like the human equivalent of those tacky full moon with some mythical being shirts. Episode 2. Tommy-sensei's describing bows as hip. Oh, Tommy-sensei. Hip is such a cute old man thing to say. Tommy-chan, best boy. Every day after school, Protag-chan is hanging out with Abzy Ghost-chan, and he introduces his owl before he introduces himself. This is the way it's supposed to be, humans. And the owl is called Who? Insert outdated Animaniacs joke that no one remembers. Magano friend at school decides to enter the archery boys as a team, even though they're one short because he's going to pressure Protag-chan into joining. The two have a D&M where Protag-chan goes, "Well, if you really wanted me on the team, why didn't you say it back when I stuffed up at the tournament?" In which Magano-chan gives the perfect shitty teenager response, "'Cause we lost the tournament due to your shitty archery, cunt," which results in Protag-chan having a shitty teenage tantrum in his bedroom. Abzy Ghost-chan gave him some, like, archery tape or something. I don't know, I don't do archery. And he goes to the shooting range in town and asks if Abzy Ghostman's there. "Is so-and-so here?" And the Oba-chan replies, "Oh, they dead, son." And he goes to the shooting range at night and Abzy Ghost-chan is there and he's like, "I'm about to do my 100,000th shot." And Protag-chan breaks down like, "No, Abzy Ghost-chan, don't do it, don't leave me." And the nerve of this guy. He laughs in his face and goes, "Oh, that was Zawa-san who died." Haha, it wasn't me who died, but someone still did. And you're like, yeah, as if you still believe in ghosts. This is a fucking anime. You never know what fucking weird bullshit they'll pull out of their ass and add into your seemingly normal slice of life show. And I'm pretty sure he told Protag he was turning 97 years old. What was that about? And the fuck do you have an owl that you've trained so well he can just chill outside without flying away and never being seen again? It makes more sense for you to be a ghost. The fact that a random 25-year-old is hanging out with a little 15-year-old is now just pedo. It would have been less pedo if you were a ghost. Episode 3. Protag-chan officially joins the archery club stating, "I really want to shoot!" Potential school shooter alert. And I hear you say, "But school shooters are done with guns, not arrows." Myself and my favourite morally grey actors Tilda Swinton and Ezra Miller laugh at you. Anger-chan like, "Why are you joining if you still shit?" Like, Anger-chan, have you never heard of doing something just for fun? Whilst they're arguing, Tommy-sensei just standing there watching, and Megane-chan asks, "Are you gonna intervene?" And Tommy-sensei like, "Yeah, nah." Tommy-sensei loves watching drama unfold. Tommy-sensei is best boy. Protag-chan starts talking to a newly introduced character, Moe-chan, asking, "What's a merher you keep saying?" Where he replies, "Mahaya is hello in Turkish, so shorten it to Meha." Aww, cultural appropriation is so cute. The girls in the club were discussing that, and I know we have all known or at least heard of this person. Moe-chan scares away potential club members, and we see poor Tommy-sensei having to deal with all these complaints. How dare you put more strain on Tommy's probably weak heart? Worst boy! We have a scene in the changing room where it is revealed that in these archery uniforms, the shirts go down to their knees so that no matter what, they're not going to be any sneaky fan service. KyoNA trying hard to class up their repertoire here. The newly introduced random childhood friend that no one cares about character is talking to Moe-chan about his archery style and history with archery and stuff, and more pure high schooler dialogue. He asks if talking about himself and his feelings is annoying, which Moe-chan replies with a quick "fuck yeah." To which childhood friend Chan responds, "Oh, I wish I was less annoying and better with people like you." Even though this episode already discussed that the archery club has half of its potential members due to no one liking Moe-chan. This show has taught me that in Japan, there are shops that sell nothing but archery gear. Holy shit, how do they keep in business? The store does kind of blackmail childhood friend Chan into buying a shit ton from him, so hey, maybe they don't keep in business. Childhood friend Chan confronts Anger-chan about Protag-chan. He's serious about archery and getting over his target pattern, and Anger-chan fully convinced. Fantastic. Tommy-sensei reveals some dreadful news that he can't shoot due to his poor back. No, I don't get to see Best Boy Tommy-sensei in a cool archery uniform or looking cool shooting arrows. How could KyoNA cut out such valuable fan service? Anyway, because of this, Tommy-sensei has had to hire a coach, and lo and behold, it's Wolf howling at a mystic moon guy. To which both Protag-chan and Anger-chan go, "It's him!" And then Anger-chan looking mad at Protag-chan. Hooray! Hey, Protag-chan again. Phew. After the pointless drama between them had been resolved, I was just dying for the same shit again. Just gonna point out that Mr. Man's hair makes his head look really long and oval shaped. Episode 4. Mystic Wolf Moon Man cut off his ponytail, so now he's just a regular old bishy. Tommy-chan states he's known Moonbish for a long time and is friends with him. Well, I mean, if you're okay with Tommy-sensei, then I guess you're okay with me. Moonbish makes sure to introduce himself to all the boys and learn their names, and completely ignores the girls because they're not important in this sausage fest. I don't know, Tommy, you're testing me here. Next day, and Moonbish is in double denim, but his jacket is so wide and huge it gives him a pinhead. Tommy-chan's wearing a purple sweater. Oh, I've already seen him in a green one. He looks so cute in it. Protag-chan was talking to Moonbish, and Anger-chan did the cliche cut off the competition mid-sentence in a really excited manner. Moe-chan's over at Anger-chan's house, and he's holding his cat up under its legs, and the cat just sits there. Like, fuck off, he'd be fidgeting at least, scratching Moe-chan's face until it resembles Freddy Krueger's at most. The third day of training together, and Moonbish decides to hold a mock group tournament, 5-on-5, so the boys go together, but what about the girls? Well, they add Moonbish to their team, and oh my gosh, Tommy-chan's in uniform! Yes! You see him standing with the girls in Moonbish and he's so much smaller than all of them. And Moonbish is like, yeah, Tommy's really good at this. And they hold the tournament and show the different fancy poses and such you hold in an archery tournament. These shows are so much more class than free. And when Tommy-chan goes to shoot, he's all wobbly and everyone's like, yeah, he's gonna suck. But then he hands up real quick and gets a fucking bullseye. Fuck you, plebs. Tommy here is getting a bullseye on the target and in your mum's pussy. The girls team whips the boys team, but I have no idea how the scoring works. So I don't know if Moonbish and Tommy were just so good they hit up the score real good, or if the girls also performed well. They have probably mentioned the scoring in a past episode, but as if I'd be able to remember that. And Tommy-chan did his back in afterwards and had to lie down with packs on his back, showing his midriff. Yeah, that's my type of fan service. Basically, for most of this episode, Anger-chan's just been really sulky as opposed to letting his anger out on Protag-chan. I mean, he still is. It's just watered down a bit with his general sulky attitude. Then he's just sitting there starting an argument with his cat. It's the most typical cat owner scene I have ever seen in a show. Then he gets a text from Moonbish asking him to come to the club camp weekend an hour early, and he is ecstatic. Even when he realizes they asked his rival to come early too, he is not deterred. Protag-chan there early to get dressed up in Moonbish's grandpa's old robe. They must be so musty and rotting. How could you make a teenager wear them? And as he ties it up for Pro-chan, he holds him closely and sultry whispers in his ear something non-sexual, but we all know what they were going for there. Tommy-chan's talking to Moonbish's seedy-looking older brother, and the brother goes, yeah, I slipped a disc, and Tommy replies, I know, every time it still hurts. Now, I know this is sort of meant to imply that Tommy slipped his disc the other day and that that's a regular occurrence. But if this were the case, Tommy'd be a paraplegic. Translators, just say he did his back in. Strain on your back is completely different from a slipped disc. Do some basic research before you use a medical term, such as I have decided to do with archery and back injuries, where hernias can occur, but it's more likely to occur as pain for a while before it herniates, aka Tommy didn't just randomly slip a disc due to one round of archery. Basically, it's an age-related injury that occurs gradually from strain put on it, and with archery, the more common injuries are to the shoulder. But we can't have that in this show because Free already has a shoulder injury. Episode 5, the club camp episode. It opens with Moonbish's seedy older brother, who was appropriately a photographer, going, sleepy boys, and taking photos of these half-awake teenagers. At least none of them were in their underwear so that the photographer wouldn't land his ass in prison. I'm sorry, land his ass in prison for photos of semi-naked teenagers in Japan? Ha ha ha! They got woken up at 4 a.m. I don't know why the hell they need to get up so early for this. Anyway, they spend the whole day doing chores and no archery, and one of them's like, I bet if Tommy Sensei were here, we wouldn't be doing this. If only gracious God, Tommy Sensei were here. So Moonbish saying to them he only took on the job because Tommy-chan was so good at convincing him to do it. You're damn right he is. They go shopping and Protag-chan tries to bond with Anger-chan because they both prefer pork over beef. But Anger-chan's like, you don't like the right type of pork. Like, geez, kid, could you just put in the smallest amount of effort to get along with this guy? Then there's a communal bathing scene because it's a Kyoani production and it's what they do. I don't think Protag-chan actually has a scar. It sure as hell didn't look like he had one. So I guess in the first episode it was just the shadows and it really added nothing to the plot. The next day, Tommy Sensei appears and everyone's all better because they get to shoot now. Tommy-chan reveals their shooting order and they're like, but why? And he goes, secret, and does a cheeky wink whilst doing a little shushing pose. Episode 6. Anger-chan gets to the club early to ask Moonbish something, but then everyone arrives and Moonbish is like, just tell me, okay? And so he asks him his question and Moonbish and everyone laughs at him. And then Moonbish is only half answers his question before everyone else starts asking him questions like, geez, I wonder why he wanted to ask you this in private. Read the situation better. It's exam time and they have a week off from archery practice, and Moonbish is like, okay, make sure to wash your uniforms over the break. Especially you boys. I bet at that moment he was so smug, like, yes, I am a genius teacher. I understand the teenagers so well. After school, Tommy Sensei meets with Moonbish behind the clubhouse, and he looks up at him with his cute little old man face, and he asks him out on a date. I ship it! I mean, I think Moonbish is an annoying piece of shit, but like, he's a hot, annoying piece of shit, and that's still enough for a decent ship. By date, Tommy meant by going out to a bar for drinks, but he keeps giving him food. Like, Moonbish is doing a DM about his grandpa or whatever, and it's what the viewer's supposed to be focused on since his G Diddy was brought up multiple times throughout the episode. But Tommy just keeps getting all this food and placing it down in front of him. All I pay attention to is how much fucking food there is. If this is how Tommy does dates, aka throws food at the other person till they're too full to move, then damn, he really is the best boy. We meet the rival school with a better, larger, and more focused swim club, archery club. And we meet the rivals. One gets called the Prince, and he has nice bangs, very Backstreet Boys, that fling back whenever he shoots an arrow. But man, that'd be annoying having them bangs in your face and flying around here, there, and everywhere whilst you're shooting. As if he wouldn't pull it back off his face like a tiny obnoxious man bun. He's also childhood frenemies with Protag-chan. And then we meet the twins. They're twins, and they have red hair, and they're loud and obnoxious, and when they archer next to one another, they aim for the other one's targets, because they're twins. Genius fucking writing there. When whoever originally wrote this light novel met up with his editors just like, twins, yes. I don't know, how can we make them more twin-like? No, I think they find the way they are. More twin-like. How about they shoot at each other's targets? That's kind of dumb, but yeah, I can add it in. And their hair is wet now. You have no choice in the matter, my little bitch. There's one point where they're making fun of Protag-chan's target panic, and Backstreet Prince-chan's like, could you not be such a bitch? Episode 7. Man, there were some weird subtitles in this episode, and I don't know about you guys, but it took a while for Crunchyroll to properly show this episode for me. Yes, I did watch this when it came out, like 2 years ago. I can't remember. But anyway, so I do think that there was something iffy going on. It is the day of the tournament. Yay! Protag-chan and Megane-chan get a lift from Megane-chan's mum, and she's talking about their middle school comp days and asks about Backstreet Prince-chan, referring to him as the Bishonen one, and they look so awkward. Do mums do that? Refer to your friends as the hot one? Like, my mum never did, but I never had many male friends since I'm a chick and I only have sisters. Do mums with sons do this? They're at a tournament and talking about how more girls do archery than guys do. And these young high schoolers figure, it's because they look hot in the uniform. Gee, me from Australia, where there's recently been a big push for women in sport. No, it's because they just like doing archery. Just a reminder, netball was created in Australia as a women's only sport, and our women's cricket team is the #1 women's cricket team in the world, faring much better than our much more well-sponsored and recognised men's team. You don't tell us that it's full of hot uniforms, BS! The twins overhear them perving on one of their female teammates, and they kind of go over to defend her, but more so to be shit. Yeah, we remember you. You're the kid who got target panic. And then some of the beautiful subtitles come into play when Anga-chan replies, "You sons of bitches, I'm gonna make a horror show of your face." I think that there may have been a second line there that I forgot, but yeah, that's what the actual subtitle said. It's so weird and most likely not what he said in Japanese. Eventually, Backstreet Prince-chan comes over and be like, sorry about that, they just shit. And Protag-chan's like, Backstreet's back, alright! And Backstreet Prince places his hand on his waistband. At first I was confused, like, why are you touching him so intimately? And then I remembered the scar! So the scar is there. I think it's back. I just made it up, but apparently it's real again. So Protag-chan, Magane-chan, and childhood friend-chan are just sitting today. The group tournament is not until tomorrow. They get talking about the shitty twins, and Magane-chan replies, literally, "They just weren't raised properly." What? What high schooler says that? This is more what your soccer mum would say after listing your friends from hottest to not raised properlyest. And they're talking sadly about how you don't get to cheer much in archery. And I'm like, well, yeah, sure. Fucking try cheering at an archery match to see when the fucking arrow shot goes off, how far it goes through your fucking head. One of the girls missed all of the targets because she was sick, and the shitty twins are making fun of Anger-chan about it, and Backstreet Prince-chan is being just civil and nice, and Anger-chan fucking goes off at him. Then Anger-chan sucks at his tournament because he's too angry and too busy trying to look cool by making his bow turn, and he misses like 2 of his 4 shots. And during Backstreet Prince's shots, they have these gorgeous free-ass close-ups of arrows soaring through the air. It's like I'm finally starting to see why Kyoto Animations chose this for their next sports anime. And Tommy Sensei congratulates everyone for their hard work. Yay, Tommy Sensei! Protag-chan finds his old stranger danger friend from primary school, and the background on it is a photo of little him, no Backstreet Boy, and it's so cute. It was this episode that I realised that I don't think we've seen Protag-chan shooting since the 2nd or 3rd episode, so I have no idea of the development he's been going through with his archery, so any changes to it in this tournament will feel rushed and out of nowhere. Episode 8. Finally to the group matches. This was a pretty popular episode because Crunchyroll was stuffing up whenever I went to watch it. They find out just before their tournament that, because another school didn't turn up, they're now against the evil school. And they all stress the fuck out, and Protag-chan's like, let's fight them with all we've got. You're shooting at targets, not at them. And it's a disaster and a mess. They're all so stressed that they're missing. And then childhood friend Chan's string breaks. Like, you can see and feel the stress in his eyes. Like, fuck Aaron's mum getting eaten by a titan. His string breaking mid-tournament is what gets my fight or flight mode going like fucking shit. They're all bummed out about losing, and I'm thinking, man, this is a gutsy anime to have our protags fucking fail so hard. Everyone is surprised that everyone else at the archery tournament knows the local guy who sells archery gear. Moe-chan's annoying Anger-chan, and he's on about taking archery seriously and says to him, "You're only into it for fashion," which you do actually hear him say the English word fashion. I guess he means the outfit. Protag-chan overheard and Moe-chan explains that he only acts all mad because people expect him to be mad because of his scary appearance. So I help him show his softer side, which is apparently through, as he admits, annoying the absolute crap out of him, which I don't think making him super mad is going to make him stop being mad. But then he follows up with and that's why I do archery. And Protag-chan's like, why do I do archery? Then, to my great stupidity and dismay, there is a second round, because of course there is. They couldn't have had the protags fail such a major tournament. The fact that they were all chilling in their uniforms should have been a giveaway. And they're up to shoot, and Protag-chan's like, I'm not here to win. It's not important. If you want to be a professional archer and be in a career that you actually enjoy and have an actual passion for, then yeah, it's important to win in high school. And you're like, I'm just here to hear the nice sound it makes when it leaves the bow. You could just Google videos of that sound, Mr. ASMR fetish. But I guess it's more satisfying when you make those noises yourself. And as he shoots it, we get more gorgeous archery porn, and of course it makes that nice sound and it hits the bullseye. Afterwards, Moonbish congratulating them, and he like, I am so proud of you, to Protag, and scruffles his head. And I'm assuming there weren't any concerned mothers around because no one made a fuss about him touching the kids. And straight afterwards, he does a super condescending, you did well too, Anger-chan, with another head pat, like, yeah, we all know who your favourite is. Unlike Tommy Sensei, Tommy doesn't pick favorites. He loves everyone equally because he's best boy. And then we have a beautiful end scene. Protag-chan is walking along a tree-lined path in the early evening. I don't know if he's going home or to take a dump or whatever. And Backstreet Prince is there. And he confesses, I need you. I can't do this without you. You just came into my life and made me do this. You can't just leave it now. And Protag-chan walks off. And Backstreet Prince like, I can see you. And Megane-chan is hiding behind the trees and heard everything. And Backstreet Prince like, why did you go to the same school as Protag-chan? And he like, because I wanted to help him get back to... And Backstreet Boy like, yeah. You know he would have gotten back without you. You're just there because you can't leave him. But you must. Because you don't love archery. Because that's what this ridiculously shoujo-style melodramatic confession scene was actually about. Archery. Anger-chan would have been proud to see them take archery so seriously. Episode 9, and it starts with Megane-chan being all shook by what Backstreet Prince told him, and he's shooting real shit as a result. Moonbish reveals that he's the priest of a temple he looks after, because nothing says a show's trashy like a hot priest. Then they get a konomiyaki, and I'm so jealous. I've tried making it at home and it tastes like shit. Megane-chan's watching Protag-chan struggle with shooting, but then sees Moonbish take over, and he's so jelly. There's all these flashbacks of Protag-chan and Megane-chan as kids, but they don't really look any younger, just mini-me-ish. And they talk about the incident. Megane-chan says how Protag-chan's missing practice due to getting a checkup, and Moe-chan's like, oh, that's why he got that scar. Oh my god, the scar is real! I wasn't going crazy. It just wasn't drawn super obviously in all the shots it was in. I'm assuming / hoping they'll kind of describe more what happened next week, because they made it sound kind of seizure-like, that it's a reoccurring issue he had, and in the flashback we just get a screenshot of a bunged up bike, which Protag-chan wasn't riding at the time, in his shoe, so I don't know what happened. I feel like getting run over by a bike isn't enough to still be needing checkups X years after the incident, but who knows? And his GP just happens to be Megane-chan's dad. And at the end of the appointment, he's just like, yeah, can you keep an eye on my son for me? He's been acting weird lately. So, first of all, 1, you are not supposed to treat people who you know outside of work because it can compromise your care. Especially if you have a falling out. If this guy's a specialist in this obviously small town, then fair enough. And 2, you don't just start talking to your client about your own issues and asking them to intervene. How fucking unprofessional is this guy? Megane-chan training and Moonbish like, let my personal training be Dalzui the way it does the other two. And Megane-chan just straight up says, I hate you. He mad at you, boy, for taking his man. He's supposed to be the one to look after him and help him when he's shit at archery. Not you, mister. I've been doing archery longer than you've been alive, son. Notice how Tommy Sensei's been doing the same thing, but Megane-chan mad at him because he's Tommy-chan. Episode 10. Protag-chan goes to Megane-chan's house and they're massive fucking dogs there waiting for a walk, and Protag-chan commits the highest degree of animal abuse by saying, I can't give you a walk, we've got to go to school. Nerd! And then Megane-chan doesn't even go to school because he's chucking a sickie. At practice, Moonbish is shilling his temple hardcore like he's running a Macca's or something. You can only get these special talisman this weekend only. Anger-chan is all stressed about Megane-chan and shooting bad as a result. And when the others question him about it, he like, stop riding my ass! Who is subtitling him? What the fuck does that mean? Does the subtitler hate him? Do they love him? Do they have a vendetta against subtitling the show because they get a call from Crunchyroll at 2 in the morning going, hey, can you subtitle this? Sorry if you're asleep, but we need it subtitled. And no, we aren't going to pay you extra for working at night. We'll pay you the bare minimum to do it so that we don't get sent to prison. And if you refuse to do it, that's okay. There are thousands of other people who could do the exact same job as you, but do it without questioning our work methods. Yay! After practice, Tommy Sensei classes up this series a bit via having a whiskey during sunset. Just before going home, Protag-chan drops some off-brand Pocky into Megane-chan's letterbox. Next day, and they're all at the temple, and dun, there is literally no one else attending this temple ceremony than our Protags and the rival archery club. What are the odds? And the twins are being such little shitheads again, and they start fighting, but then Moe-chan diffuses the situation by going, "Hey, it's that idol," to that one fucking creep taking a biwa to a temple. Backstreet Prince-chan and Protag-chan get talking, and Backstreet like, "Oh, didn't Megane-chan tell you about what a fucking kando was to him?" At this time, the massive fucking Megane resident dog, whose name is Kuma, which to all of you otaku out there who don't remember random Japanese words because you realize only learning a tiny bit of cute phrases of a language makes you kinda racist, means bear. Such an appropriate name for this dog. And he's like, "Whoa, and Megane-chan like, I'm just chucking a sickie to avoid an awkward social situation, so I can't really say no." Then they're walking along a road bridge when Megane-chan gets dizzy and he's like, "Geez, babe, I really am sick." Then Protag-chan comes along with some appropriate flashback. It was only then that I realized that when he and his mum were saying bye to baby flashback Megane-chan all those times, when they crossed the road, they were hit by a car. Hence Protag's scar and the hospital visits and his fucking mother's death. I am so dense. I am too dense for this hipster-esque D&M slow burn drama. They all go back to practice and Megane-chan like, "Yeah, coach, I don't know how I feel about archery, but I know I hate you. Ugh, you are my aesthetic." Episode 11. Protag-chan eavesdrops on Moonbish having a DM with Tommy-chan about how he hates his grandpa and shit. He decides to try and get in contact with his grandpa's old friends to know who his grandpa was better. For some reason, he brings Protag-chan along. Like, this kid is out with him until evening. The fuck that'd be allowed in Australia? Pedo Alert 101. And like the respective student he is, he tells the archery club everything. And for some reason, we don't have any scenes of Anger-chan being jealous over those two's car ride. And even though that's inconsistent with his character, trust me, I'm grateful for it. And during that talk, Megane-chan starts talking about how when you're younger, teens seem so mature, but once you're a teenager yourself, you don't feel that way. And then someone says, "Was Tommy Sensei like that at our age?" And Megane-chan's just like, "Oh, yeah, nah, just don't ask." Tommy Sensei is just brimming with confidence because Tommy Sensei is so amazing. Then Moonbish walks into practice and everyone's running up to him and Protag-chan says, "I told them everything," which I'm sure Moonbish appreciates. He talks about meeting up with his Gramps' old friends, but he's like, "Nah, it's the day before your guys' tournament." And finally, Protag-chan does it. He guilt trips someone about his dead mum. So now Moonbish has to go and see this guy whether he wants to or not. At practice, I finally realized that all the girls' archery uniforms come with breastplates, aka their uniforms come with sports bras. How fucking convenient is that? Like every sport needs them. Anyway, on the day of the tournament, the archery shop owner comes running up to the kids and says, "He's been in a car accident on his way to meet his grandpa's friend that you guilt-tripped him into doing in the first place." Because of course, that something had to go wrong to add to the unnecessary melodrama to end the series. Episode 12, the boys are stressing on their phones about Moonbish because of the car accident, and the girls are just chill. Like, they could have been told that he was dead from a brutal murder and they'd still be shooting just fine. But then they go off at the boys, "How dare you be stressing about this when we have a tournament on?" And the boys are like, "Yeah, the tournament is more important than our feelings," and hand their phones over. Very trusting. I bet Moe-chan's got a password for his phone. Ain't having those thoughts looking through his dick pic collection. When the twins hear about the car accident, they immediately start joking. "Oh, didn't need those talisman then." Like, how much of a gun can these children even be? The tournament is beautifully animated. Just subtle details such as the boys shaking more when they're holding their bows to show the stress is much appreciated. And I finally realized why archery, of all sports, was chosen for an anime adaptation. Because in archery, they actually have time to have worrying inner monologues about how they're going, because they have breaks when they're waiting for the other team members to shoot, and they even have a few seconds of preparation before they shoot. Unlike Free, where you're made to believe in a 3-minute monologue somehow happened for a split second in the middle of a race that goes for less than a minute. They go a little bit shit at the tournament. Not full shit, just a little shit. And now they have to go through a stressful tiebreaker in order to make the finals. Jesus, they're putting all the stress and drama in this episode. Protag-chan telling the boys not to think of the advice Moonbish gave them while shooting, which of course sends Anger-chan off his rocker. Thanks, Protag-chan. You'd assume it'd be because, since he's been in a car accident, thinking of him would make them stressed. But in actuality, it's like some other bullshit I can't even remember. Okay, Protag-chan, whatever you say. Anyway, they breeze through the tournament, everyone spots Moonbish's creepy brother, and they fucking swamp him. Even Tommy-chan, because even Tommy-chan's worried. And Moonbish on the phone like, oh, I'm getting some tests run, but I can walk and talk. AKA, he could have sent someone a text to let them know he was okay. The fuck, man? Just leaving your archery teams? Well, the boys won't anyway. Freaking out? Jesus. Episode 13, final ep. They're shooting at the tournament and they make it through to the finals against the evil high school. And one of the twins is stressing out. And as the subtitles state, he says to the other twin, aren't you sick of trashing people? Backstreet Prince comes to psych out Megane-chan. Yo, you still chasing after the D? And he like, nah, we're like full official couple, brah. And Backstreet Prince is just like, ah. Then there's the tournament, which is the most exciting a tournament of teenagers quietly taking their time to shoot at targets can possibly be. Stressed out twin be missing shots, and Backstreet Prince so overwhelmed by his husband leaving him for a smuck, he misses one too, and the good high school defeated the evil high school. Moonbish arrives just as Protag-chan gets a bullseye. Okay, that timing is too convenient. Tommy-sensei admits to Moonbish, I regret getting that one kid struggling to hit the target to shoot in front of everyone on the first day, because that's what teaching is. It's reviewing what you do and improving on it. Tommy-chan! So humble, so precious. And that's the series! Lots of great things about this show. The animation was just gorgeous, and the direction it went in to make otherwise dull scenes of kids shooting more impactful. The teenagers in the series were grotty little brats whose characterization decided to go in a more realistic direction than one that's pleasing to fangirls, which made their personalities more distinct. Like, over the half of the cast had like brown or black hair, yet by the fourth ep I could tell easily who was who through characterization alone. I would recommend this show as the one you introduce your hipster friend to. The whole show has the feel of like a slow indie folk song, but like a good one. Like Lil Lion Man, but not fucking Riptide. And after I initially wrote this, they added a 14th episode, which was just an excuse to have the two archery clubs practice with Moonbish with this contrived plot of, oh, an idol's coming to film a show here. I better ask the young ones about her, even though this guy is a professional coach who has taught teenager girls before how to shoot arrows. This is unnecessary. So it happens, and the boy's like, we know nothing about her because we're not discussing excuses of human beings. But they remember the punk from the other team who does like her, so they all practice together. This creep is making sure it'd be okay for her to Archie. He literally reminds me of the type of guys seriously into idol culture, the ones that are the worst, where they say they treat them like a goddess, but that really they treat them as being such an incompetent little snowflake of a human being that he has to check out the archery center is okay for the precious little thing, which other teenage girls have managed with just fine, thank you very much. Once again, great character work. Whenever this guy goes on some shitty idol spiel, reactions from his teammates are of embarrassment, some are angry, some are sighing, and them shitty twins are just losing their shit. Love it. My favorite subtitles were back with the incomprehensible phrases such as, oh no, I hope they don't flame us, and You know, we're rubbernecks. But obviously, this episode was terrible because there was no Tommy-chan. Starting off by saying, Tommy-chan is the best.